Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another Bad Seed Bryden video, another property of the week. It's just approaching mid-January. It's the weekend. This weekend I had an open weekend for selling my house. 6 viewings, one immediate no, didn't like the location. I think 2 I'm waiting for a response from. One wants to see it again. One says, oh, I'd buy it, but I've just lost the buyer for my property. And another one who's thinking about coming for a second viewing. So overall, pretty good. Somebody said, oh, it's the nicest property I've seen, which is nice, but also really frustrating. I get a lot of positive feedback about the property, but 9 months on, I still haven't sold it. Okay, so for the property of the week this week, I've got a property that I found. It's featured on both firstforfrenchproperty.com and selogier.com. It's Lower Normandy, it's 3 bedrooms, it's just shy of a hectare. Here it is. Okay, so this property is in a little place called Saint Christophe de Choleur. Hope I'm pronouncing that properly. It's advertised on the firstforfrenchproperty.com and the selogier.com websites, and it's brought to market by an estate agent, BSK Immobilier, and you'll see their watermark on some of the pictures. It's located just to the east of Surdeval, so we're sort of north of Barenton, northeast of Saint-Hilaire-du-Arquet. So I suppose the first thing I would comment on is this property has a lovely private entrance, gated entrance with semi-hard standing to the property. This is the property. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, stone and slate or tile property. With outbuildings. I was looking at the property and looking at the white portion of the roof, and for a second I wasn't sure whether that was corrugated metal. I don't think it is. I think the whole roof is tiled. I think the portion on the right is just above an attached outbuilding, so I don't think there's any heat going up, and I think that's well, you tell me, is that a bit of frost or snow on the roof? So we'll start off inside in the downstairs lounge, communal area, dominated by this traditional fireplace. I think this property is heated by wood and electric wall heaters. I think we're good in regard to condition of the roof. We should be, but just looking at the top of some of those walls, I think maybe it's more that it needs decoration than waterproofing. There's doors out to the front of the property from this end of the property and also from the other. You can see the electricity board on the wall, which again is pretty common. There's a door leading on to the kitchen. Hoping that's the vendor, not a ghost. Looking at the floor, yeah, the floor needs work. The only thing is you're going to have problems there if you wanted to like get some underfloor insulation under that. So I think you're always going to have a cold floor on this property. Possibly second ghost. Then leading off of that lounge diner, we make our way into the kitchen, slightly wider than a galley kitchen, built-in units, built-in ovens and hob. Don't know how well lit this kitchen is, and I think personally I would do away with the breakfast bar to the left and free up some space for something else. And then I think coming off of the kitchen, you've got this little utility room. You can see obviously they've got the washing machine in there, couple of chest freezers and a little bit of work. I think you could have a nice pantry there. Moving upstairs, and there are 4 photos of the landing, showing the exposed beams. I look at this property and I just feel it's recently been renovated, and I don't think it's been renovated well. There's paint on the exposed beams. That's just unnecessary. And looking at the floor, it's pretty much bare floorboards, and I think that's because there's been quite a bit of plumbing work going on in this property, which will become apparent. So if we take a look at what I'm going to call the first bedroom, sloping roof, slightly limits the space. The green object in the middle of the picture, I can't figure out what that is. I think that's a hot water cylinder. Some people might not like that. In the UK, when I grew up, we had a tradition of having a hot water cylinder, not remote, and a lot of people would put their linen, their washing in there to dry. It would become like a drying cupboard. I think that's what's going on there. You can see the electric heater on the wall, and then you've got an ensuite. I'm not sure how well the rendering's been done on the wall, to be honest. And as you can see, there's exposed piping. This has just been done by the looks of things. So here we go. We've got a bath, a sink, and a WC. And by the looks of it, someone's purchased a new shower to go into this room. Also, I don't know whether the owners of this property have got shares in bathroom.com. There's far too much ceramics in this property. Bedroom 2, it's not a bad size. Again, electric wall heater. I don't really like seeing the extension lead spread across the floor. That just says to me you haven't got enough electric sockets in the room. And then we have this lovely, it has to be said, lovely shower. And I can see there's obviously another sink there as well. Bedroom 3, that's another good sized double bed Looks like a good sized room. You can see the exterior stonework in painted white. Some people like that, some people don't. There's also a loft hatch for access into the top of the roof, I guess. But this is where things really start going wrong for me on this property. Why is there why is there a shower just dominating the middle of the room? And who would have a toilet put in like that? Of course, there's another sink as well. They're obviously not hydrophobic, but I don't know what people are thinking. I think that shower looks awful. And I think, if I'm honest, with the toilet, with the shower, they've destroyed a nicely proportioned bedroom. I'm annoyed. I'm actually annoyed with the renovation to this property. So much so, let's go outside. Okay, looking outside, you can see the hard standing coming up to the front of the property. I think I may have just answered my own question. Top right hand corner, little white triangle. I think that is corrugated iron on the roof. It's got a beautiful aspect of the local countryside. The estate agent blurb describes the property. I think it's 9,000 meters, 9,000 square meters, as being a mix of grassland, trees and orchard. Sounds lovely. Apparently the property has fibre optic internet bordering, so I don't think it would be extortionate to connect that. It doesn't say whether it's septic tank or main sewage, so that's a question mark. And it does also mention that the land surrounding the property is currently used as pasture rather than cereal or crop, so you're not going to have too much disturbance from neighbouring work. And then the property has a couple of outbuildings. You can see here there's this corrugated iron with earth stroke hardcore floor. Be nice if you could get them to throw in the tractor and lawnmower. You've got this other outbuilding with a car lift. Looks like they're working on an engine there. Must be a good size. Again, I think I can't tell whether that's the car under that tarpaulin or a sofa. But then, there's a bit more space here. So there's certainly plenty of potential for outbuilding workshops. And that pretty much sums up the tour of the property. And then the answer to the $64,000 question, how much? So a stone house, 3 bedrooms, 2 many bathrooms with garage and workshop, just over 9,000 square meters. On the First for French Property website, it's listed as 118,000. On the Sologere website, that's 117. Either way, I don't think you're going to pay the asking price for this property, and those prices converted come to approximately 99,000 sterling, which is at the moment about 120,000 American US dollars, which is 196,000 Australian, or 174,000 Canadian. So, what do you make of that? I think it's got a lot of potential. Why does a 3-bedroomed farmhouse require 3 toilets, 3 showers? This isn't, you know, a Paris townhouse. This isn't a London Knightsbridge 3 million property. Anything more than 2 bathrooms, I think you're wasting space. But that said, it's in a lovely part of the world. It's not badly priced. I think, obviously, there's still quite a bit of work to do in it. And unfortunately, I think some of that work would be undoing what the previous owners have done. But that's me. Je ne sais rien. Let me know what you think. Please feel free to leave a comment. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great week. See you next time. Hopefully with some positive news. Thanks very much. Have a great week.